Hello F1 fans in cartoon form. I think this is my very first super deformed F1 car, and mainly because the ones I've seen just look a little bit too cheap to me. This one's borderline, but this is a Choro-Q from my understanding of a Ferrari 312 T3. So this has a number 2 on it. This is the actual number 2 car. Let's take a look here. Yeah, alright. Alright. I mean, it's a cartoon car, so some things have to be sacrificed. The question is, how old is this thing? This is from 1984, so we can't expect the best of the, from way back then, but I do like that ChoroQ in this case actually writes what the car is, how old it is, and apparently it's number 4 in a series, so that's good to know that there's 3 others. But I don't know if there are 3 other castings or just 3 other color. Well, I guess they'd have to be castings, right? Because it literally says F1 here, so there must have been an F1 collection. Okay, so yeah, the base is this silvery, wavy, plastic where you can see the waves there. Like, that's not a crack, it's just the way that plastic works. I think this might be little silver flakes and they pool around or something. The tires are quite nice. They are well, they're still rubbery, and they have Dunlop literally molded into the sidewall, so that's really cool. And then these wheels I don't think I've ever seen before. They don't really match the F1 car, but they're definitely different from other Choro-Qs, so I appreciate that. They are also made of that wavy silver plastic though, so you can see some weird waves in it. This is supposed to say Michelin, but they clearly wanted to avoid the licensing fee, so it's Mayo Heelan. And this is just a sticker, which for 1984, and this is a child's toy. I guess that's just what they chose to do. The cabin is so high. It's so weird. It's such a strange looking F1 car because it's a crazy deformation. And it's very rare to actually have indication of an actual human being, but this one has a really plain helmet there, a really short roll hoop here. Another sticker is peeling off on this side. Yeah, this one actually probably is licensed by Ferrari, but not Michelin. Okay, the silver waviness here, and then silver again on this rear wing with the more of that funky tire name. Nothing here. I don't know if there were more stickers or maybe they fell off. Like maybe there's one here, I don't know. Okay, 2 little exhaust tips, I guess that's what those would be, but not sure, and there's something there. So that is it. And this is why I don't collect too many super deformed F1 cars. This is kind of neat, but compared to other Choro-Qs, it's really not. It's at the bottom of the pile, I think. So let's pull out a couple other Choro-Qs and take a look at what I'm talking about here. So I'll pull out some race cars here. Here's a Le Mans car. It's a Porsche 956. It's just a plain road racing color livery though, and I removed the drivetrain and just have some putty holding the wheels so it's lowered to the ground. It's nice that it actually has a wiper blade printed on. So that's a really basic looking one. A little bit better, here from 2004 we have the Nissan R390 GT1, which again I removed the wheels, but this time 3D printed my own and used poster mounting putty for the low stance. But this thing is just covered in printing all around, right? So that's a superior model from 04? Yeah, so this is 20 years later from that, which makes sense. Another nice one is an Audi R8 from 2004. So again, 20 years later, look at that thing. That it literally has nice Le Mans type wheels, and I didn't 3D print those. That's just the way it came. I didn't mess with the stance. It's pretty low, so it has a spring motor in there. So, and this also has a helmet actually. So much smaller helmet, of course. So that's a really cool Choro-Q. Just all the printing all over the thing. It's very nice. And then, well, let's get this out of here. In my subscriptions here on YouTube, there's a channel called Dendeva 3D Model, and he has videos on him designing all these little 3D models. He makes realistic ones and super deformed ones. So this is the Tyrell P34, which I downloaded it off his site and 3D printed and painted it. It's all one piece as a 3D print, but with some patience you can paint it. Too lazy to do the decals myself though. Dendeva does do that. Alright, so one other model that we should take a look at is an actual 1/64 scale one by ChoroQ. So you can definitely see the difference in deformation. I mean, look how much taller it is compared to that ChoroQ. It's just wacky, right? The width is generally around the same, but it's definitely a cartoonized F1 car. This Tyrell, by the way, is actually 1/64 scale in the rear tire width, I think. I scaled it to be truer 1/64. So that's why it looks so small. But actually, if we put it next to this, then you can see the tires, the rear tires are identical. Pretty close to it, actually. But, you know, obviously this is foreshortened a lot, being a cartoon car. Let's give you another top view there. Alright. So this guy spin its own. And what characters to bring out today? I guess I'll just have to put... Oh, well, it's weird to have an F1 driver, a driving figure when that guy has a head in there. Yeah, we're too late to change now. So, it's unlikely I'm going to collect more of these F1 cars. Possibly, if I can get them at a decent price. That's the key factor. F1 cars are nice and all, but they're not really high on my list of priorities to collect. So that's why I don't have that many ChoroQs either. Well, I appreciate you watching today, and I'll see you in the next ChoroQ video.